Oh, it is 10 o'clock. Good morning and welcome to our meeting. We'll call the meeting to order. We'll start with the prayer and pledge.
Please join us. In this season of Thanksgiving, let us remember our blessings, and let's just take a moment of silence to do that. God, we ask for wisdom as we do the county's business today. We remember our first responders and all those who are in harm's way, and helping those that are helpers to those in need in our community. We ask special blessings upon them. And we pray these things with grateful hearts today. Amen.
Amen.
Join us in the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for attending. Our roll members is myself, Commissioner Stiles, Commissioner Wink, Commissioner Bachman. We're all here. And we'll move on to public comments because we don't have any today. So we'll go straight to the approval of the October 14th minutes. We have, how many staff?
Okay. Thank you.
I'll take a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Having a first and a second, any additional comments? All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Top 10 expenditures.
Our top 10 expenditures are the following. Wilmington Trust for approximately $329,000, that is for our bond payment. Bedford County Employees is approximately $208,000, it's for the county retirement contribution. Next one is UPMC for approximately $181,000, that's for insurance. Next one is Summit Foods, it's approximately $23,000, that's for jail food. The next one is PPEC, it's approximately $22,000, that's for the electric. The next one is Adelphia Village, that's for CLS Group Home, that's for approximately $19,000. The next one is Compros, it's equivalent to Ethernet monitoring, that's approximately $19,000. Next one is Compros for approximately $14,000, that's for CEP maintenance and software monitoring. It's approximately $14,000, and next one is Compros, approximately $13,000. That's the radio monthly maintenance. The next one is Independent Family Services. That's for CYS Group Home, and that's approximately $10,000.
Okay, do I have a motion to pay the expenditures?
So moved.
I'll second.
Having a first and second, any additional comments? All those in favor? Aye. That motion will carry. I have nothing under old business, but under staff updates, awards, and bids, we do have two people listed. We have Paul Crooks listed to talk about the resolution the Farm Bureau passed.
For the record, my name is Paul Crooks, and I am a representative of the Bedford County Farm Bureau. At our recent fall dinner and business meeting, the Farm Bureau passed a resolution that we needed to bring to the county commissioners. And I'll read that resolution. The Farm Bureau strongly recommends that the Bedford County Commissioners should contribute $50,000 annually beginning in 2005 to the County Agricultural Preservation Program to help this program get started, restarted, and be a benefit to farmers who want their families to continue farming for the rest of their lives. So we recommend this, strongly recommend this. As farmers in the area know, farmland preservation is a very good program. It's not always the best program for the counties because when land is dedicated forever, for farming, it reduces the amount of open ground that's available for businesses to upgrade. But there has to be a meeting someplace. Bedford County is an agricultural county. And as an agricultural county, I think the commissioners have an obligation to help it maintain its business as an agricultural county. So again, that is a resolution that we had over 50 members present. So it wasn't just a small group of people saying, this is a program. It is a strongly recommended program that's sponsored both by the state and the county. So again, we recommend that you strongly start contributing $50,000 a year to farmland preservation. And this is supported by the recent expenditures on what the county has just to buy property. So, thank you.
A question for you. Was there a resolution that's also going to the state to ask them to strengthen their agricultural preservation programs and funding?
The state,
In addition to the county?
well, the state already contributes $150,000 a year. The county doesn't use it, so they take it back. So until the county starts to use the money, they take it back and pass it on to another county.
Yeah, it can only be used for certain things though, so maybe the commissioners could meet with the Farm Bureau and talk about some of our concerns as well.
Sure you can. We have a meeting the third Tuesday of every month.
Thank you.
Thank you. Question?
Yeah, but Paul, I know at one point the county did have a position on staff for farmland preservation, but at one point that position was eliminated. Do you know when that position was eliminated? Approximately how long ago? And why that was
Don
eliminated?
Schwartz ran the farmland preservation program up until he retired. And nobody ever took it over.
I was under the impression that there was a staff member there.
Yeah, so Don Schwartz ran the donation program, which is the same program I run for the county. The same way that Don Schwartz ran it before he retired. But what Commissioner Wink is referring to is Frank Burgraff worked in the planning department, and he was a dedicated staff member to that program alone.
And do you know when that position was eliminated?
Over a decade ago.
I'm not aware of that at all.
Because one of the challenges that we have is how do you pay the administration costs of the program? Because the law doesn't allow for any of the money that the state provides to be paid, pay any of the administration costs at all. So the question is, how do you fund that position then? You know, is that, and that's something we're discussing.
I can tell you that Don Schwartz ran that program and he didn't make any extra money other than what he was paid.
Well, I think Stephanie's doing what Don did.
What's that?
I think Stephanie's doing what Don was doing.
Yeah.
It's just there's not a paid staff member currently to do that. And the question is, do we want to create a paid staff member for that position? And how do we fund,
I'm not gonna argue with it.
well, I'm just saying, how do we fund the position?
I
You
mean,
know, we are exploring options, you know, of how to do that. We've had meetings with Penn State Cooperative to talking with them about that position as well, because we do see that as a need, but as always in government, it's how do you fund the position? You know, I mean,
yeah,
you know,
I'm not gonna argue with you. I mean, you have plenty of positions in this county. And you can easily fund another position. I mean, I don't see that as a need. I don't see that as a problem. What I see as a problem is that we're failing to support farmland preservation. We have a farmland preservation committee. If you're never going to support it, what do you have the committee for?
Well, and then we met with the committee last week and had a great conversation, and we are definitely looking at how to fund that position and what to do, but there are a lot of challenges to that.
Yeah, there are, but you have to have the money to back it up if you expect farmers to make that decision. And if you don't have the money to back it up, you might as well not have the committee. You're wasting everybody's time.
You are correct. We have to have the money to back it up. When I went to the conservation board meeting, that was one of the conversations we had several months ago. And the comment that was made was, well, you don't have enough money to support the program. You don't have enough money to pay the farmers.
Right.
I can understand and appreciate that. However, we only have X number of dollars to work with, so we've got to, I think this conversation, we should sit down and discuss it another time.
Mhm.
Yes,
I could debate this with you for a long time.
absolutely.
And we 100% agree of the importance of the program, but we, but again, we got to figure out how we're going to fund it. And it's very challenging. We have a very challenging budget. We have an underfunded pension, which is only funded 44%. Because,
The question I'm asking, where did you get $1 million to spend on 100 or 50-year-old building? Where did you get over $500,000 to move the district justice from the school to a building you purchased down on Mile Level, down below Mile? Where'd that money come from?
The money that for the moving the justice down to the school building, the old building down there, that had nothing to do with this board. We weren't involved with that.
I'm
That
not
was
saying you
before.
were involved
But
with it. I'm
I can tell
I'm
you-
saying that as a county, that money was spent. Somebody had to come up with it. There was no advantage to any other citizen in this county to move the district justice from a rented office in a school building to a $500 and some $1,000 expense building.
I can't debate that because
That's,
I don't have all
That's-
those facts, but I do
that
think
that are questions that have to be asked. If you tell me you don't have $50,000 a year to spend on farmland preservation, but you spend $1.5 million, maybe not you specifically, but the county spent $1.5 million in buying property, doesn't make sense.
Well, it does to some people, and I think everybody has their priorities. We need to consider all the priorities in the county, which I think it would be a good discussion for us to talk about some of our needs, how the Farm Bureau could help. You went to the work of creating the resolution, and in working to try to meet that need, there's also some things that tie our hands with the state, and maybe the Farm Bureau could help with that as well, to work on that end of things. But let's have that meeting, that discussion at your meeting, I think would be a good place to have that.
You're always invited to the meeting. In fact, 2 of you are Farm Bureau members. You can come anytime to the meetings.
Well, as commissioners, come to the meeting to discuss that with you. But thank you for.
Yeah, because we're definitely concerned with farming preservation and the expansion of solar fields and golf, what I mean, those things, it's definitely a concern. And so I don't want you to think we're not concerned about it. It's just that, we were having some very serious discussions about the project, so.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And next we have ATCS. Everybody's.
Good morning. Just an update on the broadband tower project. So this is the construction of 3 wireless broadband tower sites funded through the ARC Power Grant and ARPA funds. We did have the bid opening on September 25th. We received all the contract documents and the contract was executed last week. And notice to proceed will be issued to the contractor today. And I know we've been in conversations with the contractor, and they are eager and willing to get started very soon. With anticipated completion of the project, at least at this point, with the preliminary construction schedule next summer. So, any questions?
Yes, sir.
Excited to see the progress.
Absolutely.
It's been a long time coming.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to the new business. We have a motion to act on the change of assessment of the notice control report for the month of October 2025, based on the recommendation of Joyce Hilligas, Director of Tax Assessment.
So moved.
Second?
Having a first and a second, any further discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion will carry. We have a motion to act on the purchase service agreement between Bedford County Children and Youth Services and Bedford County Juvenile Probation Office for the following period, July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 inclusive, based upon the recommendation of Christopher Bresco, Administrator of Bedford County Children and Youth Services.
So moved?
It's for the Family Care Services, Inc.
I'll second.
Having a first and a second, any further conversations? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion will carry. A motion to act on the purchase of service agreement for the juvenile detention services between Bedford County, excuse me, between the County of Bedford and on behalf of the Bedford County Juvenile Court and District of Belmont Harrison, on behalf of Belmont Harrison Juvenile District effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 inclusive, entered into on October 9th, 2025, based upon the recommendation of Christopher Bresco, Administrator of the Children and Youth, Administrator, Bedford County Children and Youth Services.
So moved.
Second?
Having a first and a second, any further discussions? Anything you'd like to say about it, Chris?
Yeah, that was a placement for, potential placement for a juvenile delinquent that we were looking at the contract with. We received the contract, the placement that it required. It wasn't placed.
Okay. All in,
Just to piggyback on this, as it's been discussed in the past, recent past, it's very difficult to find enough juvenile placements. And so, having choices, having more contracts in
More
place,
contracts and more options.
it
Yeah,
gives more options when the need arises.
exactly. Correct.
Thank
And some facilities, like I said, they may adjust fit. So it's we're replacing the burning places where it could be those kids' needs and try to rehabilitate and have them come back in the community setting. So each placement is different, offers different services, but the main goal was to have those juveniles return to the community setting, rehabilitated.
having a first and a second, all those in favor? That motion will carry. A motion to approve the following to the Board of Directors for appointment of Bedford County Conservation District, based upon the nomination of Fort Bedford Trout Unlimited, effective January 2025. I believe that should be 2026. James Bentz, reappointment for a 4-year term. John Akers, reappointment for a 4-year term. And myself, Mike Stiles, reappointment for a 1-year term.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Having a first and a second, any further discussions? All those in favor? Aye. Motion will carry. A motion to act on the following reappointments of members of the Bedford County Planning Commission Board for a period of December 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2029 inclusive. This is based upon the recommendation of Bedford County Planning Commission Board. The first one is Haley Feaster, and the second one is Lloyd Roach.
So moved.
Second?
Having a first and a second, any further conversations? Stephanie, would you like to say anything?
We love having Lloyd on our planning commission. He contributes a lot.
Really is.
All those in favor? Aye. Motion will carry. A motion to act on the approval of the contract for the renovation of Clark Construction, Inc. on the old CYS on the second floor of the courthouse at a total cost of $188,857.80. This is based upon the recommendation of Bernard Smith, Director of Probation, and I would like to add that this is also funded through the court's discretionary fund. It has no cost to the county itself. It comes out of the discretionary fund of the courts. Take a motion.
I will make that motion.
Second.
Bernie, would you like to say anything about this before we move forward?
No, I appreciate your guys' consideration with this and support. Thank you.
We will have to change, we'll have to stop calling it the old CYS office and call it the new probation office fairly soon. Any timeline when they're going to get the construction or renovations done?
Originally, they were talking about somewhere in early December, but we're a little later now, so I have to reach out to them. I wanted to wait until we, have this part done.
That
I'm
was the
hoping
beginning.
within 2 months or so, I'd like to think they can still accommodate us.
Thank you. Having a first and a second, all those in favor? Opposed?
No.
That motion will carry. A motion to act on the approval of,
Comment?
sure,
Just a comment on my no vote. I would like to have seen, taking into consideration, the public and how the public uses the building. I would like to have seen that office, segmented between probation and sheriff's office with people coming in to get permits and things. You often find them wandering the building trying to find the sheriff's office. So that's the reason for my no vote. But I recognize the judge is paying for the renovations of the office, and so I commend him on that it's not going to cost the county general fund any money to do those renovations, but I would have liked to have seen that space shared, and that's my reason for my no vote.
okay. Excuse me. A motion to act on the approval of resolution 11.18.25, entering into an agreement with the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, for the grant funds of $60,000 through statewide interconnectivity grant to conduct a public safety answering point, PSAP, feasibility study. This is based upon the recommendation of the Emergency Services Department. And I believe Angie is.
Right here. Good morning. Resolution number 11-1825, a resolution of the County of Bedford, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, entering into an agreement with the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, for grant funds of $60,000 through the statewide interconnectivity grant to conduct a public safety answering point PSAP feasibility study to merge the Bedford and Blair County PSAPs. This is in accordance with authorization under 35 Pennsylvania Consolidated Code 5306.1E2, where 15% of the amount of the Commonwealth's Pennsylvania's 911 fund is dedicated to the statewide interconnectivity fund. The term of this agreement will commence on the date of the last Commonwealth signature and will remain in effect until January 31st, 2027, with a period of performance beginning October 1st, 2025, and ending on December 31st, 2026. This recommendation is made by Alex Celia, Director of Emergency Services. Whereas Bedford County Commissioners have the authority to enter into a grant agreement with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and whereas it is necessary and in the interest of public safety for Bedford County to receive funding from FEMA and the statewide interconnectivity fund in accordance with PA Consolidated Statute 5306.1D2. And whereas the Bedford County Commissioners have reviewed a considerable amount of information regarding the Bedford County PSAP regionalization projects that have already been completed and the state of PSAPs nationwide. And whereas the County of Bedford recognizes the need to explore every possibility to aid in the success of its 911 operations in alignment with the state interconnectivity grant, and now therefore be resolved by the Bedford County Commissioners that the Emergency Services Department is authorized to submit a signed agreement to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for the purposes aforementioned, and be it further resolved, the Bedford County Department of Emergency Services, in coordination with the Blair County Department of Emergency Services, will be responsible for the administration of the grant to conduct the aforementioned study adopted by the Bedford County Commissioners at the regular meeting of November 18, 2025.
Thank you. Any questions?
Just to clarify, there's no funds coming from the county general fund. This is a 100% grant funded project from the state. So as a county, we will not be paying anything towards this. And this is more of an exploratory procedure, study, and just to see what exists between connectivity and things like that. Just to clarify for the public what this is about and the money being spent. Nothing's coming from the general fund.
And I believe it's the first of numerous studies that are going to occur within the state trying to consolidate.
I believe that the state's
Yes.
interest is.
Thank you. I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second, having a first and a second, any further discussions? All those in favor? Motion will carry. Next, we have a motion to act on the approval of the following personnel actions received by department heads for October 2025 as listed.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Having a first and a second, any additional comments?
And just, one additional comment. You'll notice on the new hires, we only have 2 new hires because the county has been on pretty much of a hiring freeze, given the budget stalemate with the state and just the challenges we face to pay the regular bills with insurance, the electric, and really pay the employees we have. So we've been on pretty much a hard hiring freeze, except for essential positions like the corrections facility or 911. It's been a very challenging several months for the county, and we've really restricted hiring. We've really restricted purchasing things. Really trying to stretch that nickel as much as we can because it has been a tough season for the county. And so if you'll note, just want to make note of why there's only 2 hires on there.
Having a first and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion will carry. Next, we have commissioner comments, appointments, and bid openings. We don't have any, but I would like to further state what JR is saying, that as you know, with the impasse of the state budget and the government shutdown, the county did not have funding coming in. We've been over 4 months without receiving additional funding. Right now, the state owes us about $3.4 million plus. And even though the budget has been passed, we're still waiting to receive money. Funding's not coming through as quickly as you would hope, but we are looking at it, and we are holding hiring. We are not spending unless we have to, which many of you can attest to, being told we'd like to wait. And we thank you all for your patience in this process.
Our goal is to be able to make payroll and to retain positions.
Yes.
Without furloughs, so we prioritize those things through the end of the year.
We put payroll and insurance payments first. Yes. Any additional comments? Okay, we'll adjourn our meeting. I'll take a motion.
So moved.
We'll adjourn our meeting on whatever the time it really is now.
27.
10:27. And next meeting will be December 9th in this room. We'll move on to our salary board agenda. We'll call that meeting to order. President are myself, Commissioner Wink, Commissioner Bachman, and Melissa Tuttle as Secretary Treasurer. We'll take a motion to approve the meeting of the minutes for October 14th.
So moved.
Second, having a first and a second, any further discussions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That motion will carry. We have no old business to discuss, but under new business, we have a motion to act on the approval of the wages or as by the union contracts of the following personnel based upon the recommendation of the respective department heads for November as listed.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Having a first and a second, any additional comments? All those in favor? Aye. That motion will carry as well. I guess I'll take a motion to adjourn at this point.
So moved.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming.